oh man, it's crazy how one movie can change everything. For the last few years, it seemed like the entire internet had turned against what was once the most beloved studio in Hollywood, but thanks to the mammoth success of Inside Out 2, a lot of people are claiming Pixar is back. I mean, honestly, I've been kind of loving a lot of their output from the 2020s, but I'm just glad to see some momentum behind the studio responsible for some of the greatest movies of all time. So with us all maybe a little bit more excited about Pixar's future, what exactly do they have in the pipeline, and what should you guys be the most excited about over the next decade? Well, I'm happy you asked, because that's what this video is all about today. Yes, I have rounded up all the official and rumoured projects in development at Pixar, and I'm ranking them from my least anticipated to my most anticipated. Of course, this is all very subjective, so once the video is done and you know a bit more about each movie on this list, leave your own rankings down below. But until then, I'm Connor for SLUURP, and this is every upcoming Pixar film hype ranked from worst to best. Number 7. Cars 4. Look, I don't want to be one of those old people that just hate on things because everyone else online does, but I really, truly have never been into this franchise, which is weird because I was the perfect age when the movie was released. I was 9 years old and saw the first movie in cinemas, and even then, meh. But despite all that, I can respect how popular and significant this franchise has been for Pixar, so not doing more with it would be crazy. Yes, even though the last entry didn't do gangbusters at the box office, this is still a powerhouse franchise. And I mean, come on, the merchandise is too lucrative for this franchise to be left idle for too long. So yes, it was the creative director of franchise, Jay Ward, who lifted the bonnet on the future of the IP, stating that there are more Cars things revving up. Okay, sorry, I'll stop. He mentioned that he couldn't really say much more, but Cars has got a life that will keep on going. I know there are a lot of you out there who will probably get excited by this news, and heck, I imagine there's even more that have a nostalgic connection to this franchise, but for me, it's just not there, and that's why I have to put Cars 4 at the bottom of my list. Number 6. Elio. I really hate that I'm putting Elio so low on this list, but man oh man, I just can't seem to shake the feeling this is going to be so painfully mid. But before we dissect that, it's important to remember that in an alternate timeline, we would have already seen this movie. After all, we got a teaser trailer that revealed the movie would be released on March 1st, 2024. However, the next movie from Pixar was pushed back to summer 2025 due to the SAG strike. Elio finds himself in space among aliens and cosmic beings, all of whom find his human form, which is alien to them, fascinating. They also believe that the young boy is Earth's official ambassador. It's a fish out of water story, and man, I just feel like we've seen this concept so many times at this point, and a part of me feels like I already know how this is gonna turn out. He starts off terrified of the aliens around him and under pressure to represent all of Earth, but in the end, with the help of the friends he makes along the way, he believes in himself and saves the day. On a list completely dominated by sequels, I'm sad I can't put this higher, but nothing has grabbed me about Elio yet. I'm really hoping I'm wrong about this one, but I guess we'll only know when it releases, summer 2025. Number 5. Toy Story 5. I honestly think it's kind of strange that a Toy Story film only placed 5th on my list. This franchise has delivered some of the greatest movies of any genre. Heck, I'm not even part of that online community that doesn't like Toy Story 4. No, it didn't ruin the franchise. But it was the worst of the bunch, which might explain why Toy Story 5 isn't higher on my list. A lot of people don't want another Toy Story movie at all, and I'm not part of that camp. But I mean, comparing the reactions to Toy Story 5 and Shrek 5, it makes you think that maybe Toy Story deserves a break so we can genuinely miss it and want to see another outing. If the rumours are true, Andy will be returning, which initially terrified me, but friend of the channel, The Yeti, made an awesome video explaining the potential directions for a 5th movie.
Leading them to a human retirement home. They encounter all these old family heirlooms and tackle against ageism from new high-tech toys brought to the home by visiting children. With the help of Buzz and the other returning characters, they bridge the gap between old and new toys. Now, this is the part that really sells this movie for me. In the climax, Woody reunites with an elderly Andy, sharing their life stories before Andy peacefully passes away. Woody takes a moment, smiles, then slowly goes into his default state, symbolizing the end of Woody's journey.
This actually gives me a little bit more optimism, and I kind of already know the movie will be good because, well, it's Pixar and they can't afford to fuck up Toy Story. I just hope this story is something that really needs to be told. Number 4, Finding Nemo 2, Finding Marlin, Finding Nemo 3, Finding Nemo 2, whatever. If Finding Dory never existed, a sequel in the Finding Nemo universe could have easily topped this list, but I'm sorry, I fucking hate Finding Dory. It has the most stupid plot of any Pixar movie, yes, including Cars 2. It has that horrible trope of promoting a sidekick to the main character role, has no emotional impact. Marlin didn't really learn anything from the first movie, it plays it safe, repeats beats from the original, and is a soulless cash grab. Yeah, but that first movie's pretty good though, innit? Yeah, and that's why I'm still kind of excited about another adventure with Nemo. Rumours of another sequel in the Finding Nemo franchise have swirled for quite a while. Initially it looked like this would be a Disney Plus series and might even focus on the tank gang that escaped at the end of the original movie. But more recently, comments have made it seem like we're gonna get a full-fledged proper sequel. When talking about the possibility, Pixar's chief creative officer Pete Docter said in May, "Where else have we not gone in the ocean? The ocean's a big place and I think there's a lot of opportunity there. We're just kind of fishing around." I gotta say, I personally agree. I mean, do we do Finding Marlin next? A story that sees Marlin dealing with the trauma of what happened to his wife in the first movie. Perhaps we shouldn't do that at all and we just call this Finding Nemo 2, which would make Finding Dory just a spin-off, which would make me a lot happier. Yeah, Finding Nemo 2 could actually be about Nemo, now a teenager trying to find himself in a big old ocean. Ultimately though, I like these characters, and after Inside Out 2, I have a bit more faith that another adventure in the Pixar Nemo universe could work out pretty well. Number 3. The Incredibles 3. Man, oh man, The Incredibles. The first movie might just be my favourite Pixar movie of all time. Unlike Cars, I was fully into The Incredibles as a kid. I had the costumes, the remote control car, the figures. I played these banging games. I loved this movie. The unique take on the superhero genre, the humour, the score, the animation, the characters, and the villain, who is still Pixar's best villain today. I eagerly awaited that second movie in the franchise. Out of every Pixar sequel, this was the one that made the most sense. There were more stories to tell here, and after 14 long years, we finally got it, and look, it's good. It is, but that first movie is incredible. It's a 10 out of 10 movie, perfection. Maybe our expectations were too high for the sequel, but it's not like a Pixar sequel hasn't exceeded the original before. But the problem is I can't ever really see myself revisiting Incredibles 2. Still though, I am excited for a prequel, which seems to be in development, but moving forward we've gotta have a time jump. These characters need some sort of evolution. I want to see more focus on the kids who have a full grasp on their powers. What if one of the kids is tempted by the dark side? What does society look like 15 years since superheroes rejoined it? We actually put together a trailer focused on a cult with a supervillain leader that preyed on superhero prejudice and promised to drain the powers of every super. If you want to check that out, I'll link that in the description down below. But that's what I want this series to get back to, that serious and mature tone that the first movie had in spades. Number 2, Monsters Inc. 2. I just made the case that The Incredibles was my favourite Pixar movie of all time, and well, I lied, because of course it's Monsters Inc. I don't think I've watched a single movie more in my childhood. I've never quoted a movie more or loved a duo more than Mike and Sully. Yeah, keep your Buzz and Woodies, your Marlin and Dories, your Arlo and Spots. These are my 2 favourite Pixar characters ever, and that's probably why I really like Monsters University, which I don't know, isn't a popular take online. I've never seen the message in this movie done better than it is in MU. Sometimes you can really want something, but the world can be inherently unfair and it just can't happen. But that's not the end of the world. You can find other ways to be happy. Oh, and then there's that whole scene on the lake. Come on, Pixar deserves way more credit for this movie. It blows my mind that people don't like MU or just think it's mid, and that's why I have a proper Monsters Inc. sequel so high up on my list. If they nail this, oh damn, I mean, we could be talking about a Toy Story level trilogy. Monsters Inc. 2 seems to be a little bit further behind in development, but that's okay because if we want this to be a masterpiece, we gotta give it time. I'd happily take the scrapped Monsters Inc. 2 plot where Mike and Sully meet up with an elderly Boo. I mean, talk about a tearjerker. But the fact that they aren't going in that direction at the moment seems to indicate that they want to make sure this is really special and even beyond our expectations for a sequel. Number 1, Ducks. Okay, I know what you're thinking. What the fuck is Ducks? And perhaps more importantly, how did this unknown property place as my most anticipated Pixar movie? Well, those are all very good questions. Why don't we try to answer some of them for you? While not officially slated by the House of Mouse, many insiders have reported that Pixar, with an emphasis on Pixar, is developing their first ever musical, currently under the working title Ducks. Very little is known about this one, although we do have a rumoured plot leak, and I must stress this should be taken with a rather large grain of salt. It reads, a diverse group of ducks navigating the complexities of their life in their lake home, facing challenges, discovering unexpected friendships, and most of all, finding their voice through music. It's somewhat surprising that although we've had movies like Soul and Coco which are filled with musical elements and sequences, Pixar has never developed a full Broadway-esque musical, and I think that's part of the reason why I have this at the top of my list. It's Pixar doing something new, different, innovative. They are challenging themselves, and for me that's when I enjoy Pixar the most. Sure, I've loved Pixar sequels like Toy Story 2, Inside Out 2, and of course Monsters University, but there's just something Pixar normally gets so right the first time around, and where Elio doesn't fill me with a whole lot of enthusiasm, Ducks for some reason does. But enough about Ducks, because that's our list. What did you think of my personal ranking? And based on the information and history of these franchises and the potential new entries, how would you rank the projects from worst to best? Please tell me in that comment section down below. Be sure to give that subscribe button a little tickle because we've got some really amazing and exciting animated content on the horizon, including a breakdown of every upcoming animated Universal movie, and believe me, DreamWorks and Illumination are cooking. But until then, I've been Connor for SLUURP, and here's a clip where I predicted the third Inside Out movie. Early in Inside Out 3, Riley's parents sit her down and explain that her granddad is very ill and needs care. We're moving back home, they explain. But for Riley, is that home anymore? She'll be leaving her school, her hockey team, her new friends. She feels all sorts of new and complicated emotions, shame and guilt amongst them.